Hi everybody, welcome to Hell Let Loose. This is on my Xbox Series S, but this video could just well apply to the PlayStation 5 or even PC, I guess, but I am going to be talking about my controller settings in this most amazing of first-person shooters, this World War II military simulator. So, what we're going to be talking about today are my settings for Infantry, just in case you're having a little bit of trouble deciding what to do with your settings. So, starting from the top, manual bolt cycling off. So, if you don't have manual bolt cycling off, what will happen is when you fire your bolt action rifle, which like a lot of the Germans have, is once you fired it, your soldier won't automatically reload. You have to kind of press the trigger again and then he'll recycle. So have that off so he automatically does it. Show hints. I think you really need hints in Hell Let Loose. You know, there's a lot of things to learn and you kind of forget about them, so leave them on. Nameplate view distance. Now, the maximum is 500 meters. I take mine down to 250 meters. An important thing about nameplate view distance and being able to see your friendlies is so that you don't accidentally shoot them. And also when you hear gunfire and you look in the direction of that gunfire, if you don't see any nameplates, that's probably the enemy over there. And I've kind of figured, and looking at a few other videos about this, that 250 meters is a bit of a sweet spot, because you probably won't be able to hit anybody unless you've got a sniper rifle from 250 meters away. You have to be very unlucky to hit a team member. And also, if they're that far away, then it doesn't matter if you can't see them. So I have that. Nameplate use icons only 15%. Player nameplate opacity, so I have them solid 100%. Hide markers with HUD, yes. Marker display duration, the maximum of 15 seconds. Ping display duration 5 seconds. So this is when you ping someone on the map, pressing left on your D-pad. It will stay there for 5 seconds. HUD display mode, I have it as always on, so I can see what's going on. HUD display duration 30 seconds. I don't have a clan tag. Reset hint, so you can reset them so they keep, so you don't get the beginner ones again. Just so you can refresh your memory. Show command messages, absolutely. Now, controls, lean toggle off. Now, this one's a bit of a tricky one. So with games like Hell Let Loose that have come from PC, often they really are thinking about keyboard and mouse, even when they're thinking about the controller thing. So lean toggle, so to lean in Hell Let Loose, depending on the controller system you've got, but probably the one you'll have is you'll click in your right stick or your left stick, and then your soldier will lean to one side or the other. If you have lean toggle off, you've got to keep it clicked in to lean, and then if you have it on, you click it in and release it, your soldier leans and he stays leaned. Now, that is a really good way of doing it. The problem with Hell Let Loose is at release, and they may well change this, is once you've leaned, your soldier remembers that, so you can run off, and then when you aim down sights again, he's leaning again, which is a bit of a pain. The way that they should do it is that it should be when you aim down sight and you lean, and then you come out of aim down sight, they should automatically stop leaning then, but they don't. So for me, for the moment, I have lean toggle off. So that means I have to keep it clicked in, and hold it in to keep leaning. And then when I release it, that means my soldier comes out. However, I will change it to on if they do it where if you come out of ADS, your soldier stops leaning. ADS toggle off, so you hold in your left trigger to aim down sight. Again, this is a PC thing. When PUBG came to console, we had the same thing, didn't we? The idea that you would tap your left trigger to aim down sight. Yeah, have it off. Sprint toggle on. So again, this is the idea. If you click in to start running, you don't have to keep it clicked in. You can just click it once and it keeps doing it. Vibration, obviously turn that off. Now, controller sensitivity and controller sensitivity on ADS. This is all very personal. I have mine set at about 52% at the moment and 36% for ADS in. So use what's comfortable for you, but what I would say always with sensitivity on any shooter is whatever you choose to start off with, stick with it for a good few hours, if not a good few days, till you get used to it before you make any changes. And when you do make a change, stick with it for a long time, because it's only that time in game where you're building that muscle memory where you'll get accurate with that particular ADS. Also, don't be scared of having a low sensitivity, especially when ADSing. So one of the things you want to be doing is, as you're moving around the map, you want to be centering, which is keeping the middle of your screen where the enemies could be coming from, so that if you need to aim down sight, as you're aiming down sight, you will then be on the enemies and you can fire without having to adjust too much. So if you do that, you can have a fairly low sensitivity. And what that does is, if you find yourself scanning across, for example, a field looking for an enemy, and you see them but you go past them and have to track back on them with your aim down sight, that's probably because your sensitivity is too high. Whereas if you're thinking it's just too slow and you're getting the time, then turn it up a little bit. Map cursor sensitivity, I've set for 48%. Again, do what works for you. Movement dead zone, I've currently got mine at 14% and 14% for look. A lot of this depends on your controller. I think probably I could take this down to 10%, but I'm sticking with 14% now, and then I'm going to see how it goes. I'm the sort of person that inverts my first-person controller. Video, at the moment, we really haven't got any controls. It's brightness or motion blur. Motion blur off. Again, I want to be able to see as much as I want. And I use controller layout A. The only thing that's a bit odd at this moment, and this may well change as they patch the game, is that when you press Y to cycle your weapons, you'll hit Y, and then what you need to do is that might change between your rifle and your pistol, but what you need to do is go up and down on your D-pad, and then that will swap to like your grenade or your smoke grenade or your bandage or your syringe or your supply box or something like that. Yeah, and I like layer A. My master volume is down at 10% now because I'm recording a video. Normally it would be 100%. Music 75%. That's really only for the menus. Sound effects 100%. Voice volume 50. I haven't had any problem with the chat at all. Ping marker. I will mention one thing actually. When we go back to the controller, if you on this particular controller mode, so to open up the radial menu for the chat, you press the left shoulder button, LB, the one above the left trigger. Now, when you first get into a game, your chat won't be working. You have to select the chat, so you have to press LB and go down on your right stick to select your squad chat. Up until that point, you won't be able to use chat, or you go up for proximity chat. So again, just bear that in mind, that when you start, you won't be able to talk to anybody until you actually make that move. So there we go. There are my settings for Hell Let Loose. Hopefully you found that useful. If you had, hit like. If you've got any questions, put them down below the description of the video. And of course, I'll see you again soon.